Today we have the first look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 as well as a few upgrades. Before we get started though, let me know in the comments who out there is waiting for the Flip 6, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech. So first up, before we get into the reveal, we've got great news on the battery of the Flip 6 thanks to Galaxy Club. Now they've reported on the new batteries, and thankfully both dual batteries are going to be getting a small increase in capacity, and the total capacity is now going to be 4000 mAh up from the Flip 5's 3700. Now it's not a huge difference, but it's certainly going to help, and along with the more efficient chipset, it's going to make the phone's battery last a fair bit longer. Now next up, we've got great news on the display, and the Galaxy Z Flip 6 is going to be coming with a brighter and more durable display. At the end of last year, Samsung patented their Iron Flex technology, and it's thought that this trademark relates to the new folding display that's going to be more durable than the previous versions, as well as being more resistant to scratching. And another advantage is going to be reduced creasing in the center of the display. And while we've had many reports and rumors floating around about no crease at all, that's very unlikely to happen. Now of course, there are also going to be improvements to the display, including the brightness, and if we look at the previous releases, the flip phones tend to follow the S phones quite closely with peak brightness level, and this means we should have a big increase this year. Now the S24 Ultra just released with 2600 nits of peak brightness, and hopefully the Flip is going to be the same, although given the huge jump this year from the S phone, it may be a little bit less for the Z Flip 6. Now another upgrade on the Z Flip 6 is the camera system, and it's still going to be a dual camera setup, but according to another report from Galaxy Club, the Z Flip 6 is finally going to be getting an upgrade to the primary camera. According to their report, Samsung were testing a 50 megapixel sensor for the primary camera, although the ultra-wide camera is going to remain a 12 megapixel camera, but the only downside to Samsung foldables seems to be on the camera system, so an improvement is always welcomed. Now next up, we've got the first look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 thanks to a new tweet from Onleaks, and he's partnered up with Smartprix to deliver these renders along with a full 360 video and some information on the design. When it comes to early design leaks, Onleaks has proved his accuracy time and time again, so we can be pretty sure that this is exactly what the Galaxy Z Flip 6 is going to look like. Now as you can see, it's not very different from the Flip 5, and it looks pretty much identical. We had previous rumors of a larger display with the Flip 6, but Onleaks confirms it's actually going to be a 6.7-inch foldable inner display along with a 3.4-inch cover display, and this is exactly the same as last year, although there have been many reports that the cover display is now going to natively support apps instead of people having to use the Good Lock launcher to achieve this. Now the overall dimensions are 165 by 71.7 by 7.4 millimeters, which means it's pretty much the same size as its predecessor, although it is a little bit thicker, and this could be due to the increased battery capacity. And apart from that, the only other minor change is that we've got two microphone holes on the top, whereas previously there was only one. Now there have also been rumors about IP68 water and dust resistance, but to be honest, with the phone looking the same as last year with the same hinge, I would be surprised if this was the case. Now there's no mention of the frame material either, so we're still unsure if it's going to be getting upgraded to their new titanium or if it's going to keep the same armor aluminium, but to be honest, it really doesn't make too much of a difference apart from the look and feel. While the design remains the same, it is of course going to feature the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset along with all of the new Galaxy AI features released with the S24 Ultra, and we've also got rumors floating around that the Z Flip 6 is going to be the first flip phone to support Samsung DeX, but again, we hear these rumors every year and it never seems to happen. Now for those of you excited for the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 though, we're now going to run through the full specs, design and the expected pricing to help you guys decide if it is worth the wait. So for my regular viewers, you guys have seen this, so just skip to the next video, but if you're new here, then hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So with the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6, we get a 6.7-inch foldable 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. While it's the same size as its predecessor, we're expecting improvements in brightness, color accuracy and durability. It's coming with a resolution of 1080 by 2640, and it will of course be protected by Samsung's newest ultra-thin glass. There's also going to be less visible creasing in the new foldable display, as well as water and dust resistance. For the external cover display, we get a 120Hz dynamic AMOLED, and it's going to be protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. It's going to be a 3.4-inch display with a resolution of 720 by 748, and of course we'll see all the usual improvements like increased brightness and color accuracy, as well as the native app support for the cover display. Now the selfie camera is still unknown at the moment, but it's likely going to be another 10 megapixel camera. Then on the rear, it's a dual camera setup with a 50 megapixel primary camera and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide. It's going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in all regions, and it's going to come with 8GB of RAM and up to 512GB storage, and this will of course be UFS 4.1. Now it's coming with around a 3700 mAh battery, and while fast charging is still currently unknown, we're hoping for some improvements to both wired and wireless charging. In terms of connectivity, we get advanced 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra-wideband support, and it's of course coming with One UI 6 based on Android 14. It's expected to launch from $1,050 and it's going to launch in August 2024. So overall, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 is another refinement to the series, offering a similar design but some new and improved hardware as well as plenty of new AI features. Now the new brighter display alone is going to make the Flip 6 much better for day-to-day use and much better experience in the sunlight, and of course more durability is always a bonus. Now given its similarities to the predecessor though, I can't imagine anyone with a Flip 5 is going to rush for an upgrade, but for anyone with an older Flip or looking to get their first Flip, then it's definitely going to be a great choice. Now of course, launch is still quite a way away, but we're no doubt going to get more and more leaks coming in, and of course I'm going to be sharing them as soon as they do, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.